Çok sağ olun Cənab Prezident. İcazənizlə mən də sualımı ingilis dilində verim. I teach communication and media at ADA University, so I would like, if I may, to ask last question about media. In the next 2 days, we will continue these conversations with our distinguished colleagues talking about modern media trends. And one of the issues that usually come up in this conversation is a relationship between social media and professional media or traditional media. Sometimes difficult relationship, most of the time competitive relationship. You have a very strong, open, active social media presence. I would like to thank you for that. Population of all age ranges follow you. My son religiously follows you on Instagram. He's actually the one who informs me about your decisions. And I hope that the First Lady knows what big fans we are of the videos that she usually takes of you during your trips. They are very open, they are very warm, and it gives us an opportunity to connect with you directly, without any filters, without any framing. So my question to you is, when it comes to social media usage as a user, what value do you see in social media yourself? Do you use it? Do you trust it? Thank you.
Well, I can tell you that I find out many important things from social media, what is happening in our country. And on several occasions in my communications with media representatives, I was telling them that you help me in my day-to-day job because, you know, every president has its own, how to say, very similar to each other format of activity. Because especially in the countries like Azerbaijan, where you have to be 24 hours a day working and be ready for any kind of news, good or bad. At the same time, the scope of activity is really such a huge that sometimes you miss some important points, so you can miss the feeling of the pulse of society, and this is very important for me, to feel this pulse. And I feel it when I travel, when I meet people, when I also use social media. And many things which happened in Azerbaijan and which were not reported to me, either due to some bureaucratic procedure or now less deliberately, now less, but still. Maybe because of my being too busy with some other issues. I find out also through my grandchildren sometimes and children from social media and sometimes myself. And it helps a lot because there are a lot of things which irritate me as well as anyone in Azerbaijan. I feel the same, I live the same life like any other person. I love my country like any other person. And I am irritated like any other person when I see injustice, when I see bureaucracy, when I see mismanagement or something even worse. So channels of communications to me are different. But taking into account the current situation, and of course post-war situation, issues related to security, to peace process, to energy diplomacy, I mean global issues of global security and development of Azerbaijan, they prevail in my day-to-day working activity. So in these circumstances, definitely I can miss something. So social media, and not only social media, but how to say, traditional media, help to, when I follow, of course, help to know what is happening and to react immediately. In many, many cases, I can tell you that the reaction of governmental officials, even to a cutting of one tree, is because I saw it on the media, in many cases. And it creates additional discipline. You know, I travel around the country regularly and travel most of the time by car. And the reason is that when I go by car, I can see many more things than I go by plane or by helicopter. And officials on the ground, they know that I will come next time and check what is happening, what is going not as it should be. So I think that in my future activity, definitely I will be I'm not as active as I would like to, but with respect to issues which create concern in Azerbaijani society, I am also very reachable by people of my office and my close relatives. And also I think that meetings like this are very important. I was not planned to be around. When the first forum was held last year here in Shusha by Azerbaijani media community, I then told our presidential administration employees that it will be good if next time we have international. And it happened, and well organized with big presentation, and I decided to join the group. And then when it was planned as a keynote speaker, I decided not to use this formal way of, again, speeches or long speeches, something like that. I thought this kind of discussion is much better for me, and I think for you also. So I'm grateful for your patience. It's already almost 3 hours. I'm sure you will come with a very good results after 2 days discussions. That will be a kind of a good guidelines also for our government, how to move in this direction. And the last suggestion is, my suggestion is to have this forum regularly and to name it first Şuşa Global Media Forum. Thank you.
The first global media forum is over.